Welcome to the Mojo Market Report. Here's your hosts, Dave Sturgio and Chris Gucci.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Mojo Market Report right here on a Wednesday. It is Wednesday, May the 3rd. Are you going to be one of those guys that do the May the 4th be with you tomorrow, by the way? I am 1,000% doing that here on the show, live.
You didn't have to ask me that.
I mean, who knows? You never know. It is Dave Sturgio. It is Chris Gucci here at Chop Studios to bring you another loaded show. Lots to get into, lots to dive into. We're coming off a brilliant Knicks win last night. It was a great game back and forth. If you're an NBA fan and you watched that game from afar with no actual rooting interest, Chris, if you would have watched the game, it would have been, it was back and forth.
First of all, I'm definitely rooting for the Heat.
13 lead changes. We'll get into it. There's a lot to get into, obviously.
The refs gave the game away, honestly.
Oh, stop it. I understand. I'm well aware of the miss. We'll get into it. We got a lot to talk about, including yesterday we were talking a little bit about Jordan Love and how much he's going to be worth and how they're going to pay a guy who hasn't played yet. Well, guess what? Packers kind of answered that call. They heard us talking about it, and they said, hold on. One of our 1 millionth owners, whatever you own, whatever percentage you own in that, was talking about it, so we got to get things done before we piss one guy off.
Yeah,
so that's why they did
honestly, it was it's a smart deal for both sides. The money stays relatively the same if they would have extended him or did the 50-year option, but now they get some cap alleviation.
We'll talk about
everything
it.
stays the same.
We'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
We got NBA action to start us off. Obviously, semifinal action last night. Again, great game by the New York Knicks. They get game 2, 111-105. A brilliant game out of Brunson again, who, again, before was being almost ruled out or game time decision with a general soreness. I think that's a little bit of gamesmanship coming out of Thibodeau. I don't know if there was ever an issue.
Could you imagine if they sat their star player in the playoffs with general soreness?
Oh, no, they wouldn't hear the end of it. Randle did return in a big way last night. He drops 25. Brunson drops 30. RJ Barrett, again, I can't say enough about him. All of a sudden, he was on early. I was tweeting it as the game was happening. I said, don't let him get hot, because I'm telling you right now, when he starts firing on all cylinders, dude's impossible.
What did he do in game 1?
He was in the 20s again. So, he's averaging about 20 in 2 games. He had 24 last night. But got to talk a little bit about Josh Hart. Now, I understand I've banged on the drum about this guy being the best acquisition that maybe in recent memory that the Knicks were to get at a trade deadline scenario. He goes 14, 11, and 9. He's an assist away from a triple-double last night. That was it's an incredible way to solidify yourself as the big thing with him is he's been getting starts. He used to come off the bench, and now he's getting put into the starting lineup, and all of a sudden he's answering that call. And look, you can't take anything away from the Heat last night. There was many times in that game where the Knicks were up 6 or 4, and I'm just like, all right, let's just coast. Let's coast. It never happened. It never happened. Every time the Knicks were up, they were down, and they were up, and they were down. It was 13 lead possession.
Changes.
Yeah, lead changes. And first of all, Knicks, guys, can somebody put a body on Dan Marley? Okay? And it's not actually Dan Marley, but every time Duncan came out there, I was just like, that dude is Dan Marley. That's officially him. Gabe Vincent. I was talking to Jimmy Palumbo during the game, so it's all self-deprecating the entire day. He goes, I never heard of this Vincent guy. I was like, me neither. And I'm usually on this.
I think Jimmy Butler waving to the MSG fans as the game ended kind of let me know how the rest of the series is going to go. I'm serious. I mean, the Knicks are on the brink yesterday of being down 2-0 without their star player at the Garden. They had to have that game yesterday, and they had
100%.
it. But it was by the, you-know-what hair. Mm-hmm. And as this series shifts back to Miami, I just feel like Jimmy G is
Jimmy G said.
Jimmy G, wow.
Football on the mind,
24/7. But Jimmy Butler was like, we got to sit this one out.
I saw him what he was doing.
I
saw him waving
for the home
waving
crowd.
at the crowd. I get it. And he wants to that wave has 50 burger written all over it. I get it. Listen, when the Heat get hot, no pun, they're one of the most explosive teams to watch, and we saw it in the first round. We saw it in the play-in.
There was a little bit of home cooking yesterday for the Knicks, and I'm not saying that was the difference in the game. It very well may have been, but you're going to get that at the Garden. I understand how
there was
that
a couple.
Went. I'm not sitting here and complaining.
Couple calls
there was definitely a couple favorite calls.
Listen, as a Knicks fan, I would much rather it be called down the middle like a fight. But last night there was one where they said it was a shot clock violation. I'm pretty sure it grazed the rim, so they got blown on that. And then there was a 4-point play It was like Brunson lined up for 3, and the big guy. Well, I can't. I'm drawing a blank. For the Knicks.
Mitchell Robinson?
No. His backup, Hertenstein. Stein. I'm just drawing a blank. I don't know why, because he doesn't play enough minutes for me to. Hartenstein. Sorry. They acquired him too, as a matter of fact. But Hartenstein gets mauled over, and it's in the motion. It was right before Brunson shoots a 3. They call it a 4-point play because it's a continuation. A foul occurred, not on Brunson, but it occurred during the shooting motion. But after replay, it looks like the contact was made and Brunson still had the ball in his hands. And I was like, all right, we got a gift there. So there was a couple calls where I was just like, if you're a Heat fan, you're going absolutely bonkers this morning about how this game could have been a completely different way. Had those 4 points not been scored, had the shot clock violation counted. I had Brett Ernst in the comments last night at Chop Sports. He's a Heat guy. So he's just like, oh, by the way, that ball hit the rim. I was like, yeah, I'm well aware. So in any event.
I'm sure the Heat will get some calls at home.
I'm sure they will. And they're going to go home and play. And the only thing I have a problem with is the fact that they're off Wednesday. They're off Thursday. They're off Friday. They play Saturday, mid-afternoon. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's why Jimmy Butler didn't play.
Yes, because he knew there was going to be 5 days off of a rolled ankle. You're going to be fine. So he's going to come back like a just bat out of hell. I got a feeling. And look, the Knicks, the goal right now is to split on the road. So we'll see if they can do that, because that's what the Heat did. Mission accomplished. Now the Knicks got to do the same thing. I think the big game is Saturday, because if you take back-to-back games, it's not like you can exhale, but like at least you know that like you're not on the brink of elimination. You know what I mean? Like you're not the backs aren't against the wall right now. And which I think the Knicks team could respond to something like that. But I think it's way better off. Saturday is very, very big. It looms large. Anybody want to put a body on Anthony Davis last night?
Yeah, there's if it goes that way in every game, there's no answer for it. I know AD isn't going to play his lights out, play his A off the way he did yesterday every game. But if you look at the Lakers' most recent run and their most recent title, it was AD doing that.
Yeah, and we
He'll
said
get hurt tomorrow.
We said it going into the playoffs, even down the backstretch of the season, when LeBron was trying to insert himself back into the lineup after being hurt. You were looking at this team, and it's like, when Russell, AD, and LeBron were on the court in the regular season together, they were 8-1. Very, very small sample size because they got Russell at the trade deadline. But like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, these guys on the court now, in a big stage, in Golden State, in San Francisco, wherever the hell they play, in the Bay, it just looks like they had full control after an abysmal start. Like they were down, I believe, 10-2, and it was raining buckets for the Warriors. But here they come all the way back. Stat line wise, AD 30 and 23. I mean, that's unheard of. LeBron goes for 23. Would you call 30 and 23 a double?
No.
It should be a thing. There should be a thing where if you get 20 and 20, that's like another stat.
Well,
That's another category.
It is. It's a 20-20 game.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you could actually look up who has the most 20-20 games.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, all right. Kyle's probably watching right now. What an idiot. But in any
There's
event,
also a 30-20 game. There's also
that's what he had. Yeah. He had himself a 30-20 game last night, and it was incredible. Lakers are up now 1-0 on that series. Curry drops 27. Clay drops 25. Both of them hit 6 3-point shooting. Got to give it up for Jordan Poole off the bench. He played remarkable. Other than the fact that he missed the big shot. He missed the big shot at the end to try to send it to a win. But a big late miss, but a great game for Jordan Poole off the bench. We'll see what happens. But again, it's one of those things
where
where
a great series.
It's going to be a real good series.
Like.
And now the goal for the Warriors is you got to get the next one. You don't want to go to LA down 2-0. Just like the Knicks situation, you just don't want to do that. So it's a great series. Speaking of great series, one more goes down tonight. Just one game on the dock tonight, so tomorrow should be fun. You got Philadelphia and Boston, with obviously Philadelphia winning the first game. But the biggest story last night coming out of Philadelphia, Joel Embiid named MVP. He's around his whole team when he was announced. Pretty badass feeling, pretty badass scene in Philadelphia. The whole team started chanting MVP. It was real cool. He prevents a three-peat for the Joker. Justified, you would have to say, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not say Joker deserved it. But at the same time, when you looked at the two of them matched up this year against each other, Embiid dominated him. That one game, I know he had like 50 and 20 or something crazy. So I know he dropped a 50 burger on Jokic this year. So, I mean, I think if you're looking at it, and there's one thing that you want to say, you could take your pick. Both guys had remarkable seasons, but it was the head-to-head matchups. I think that
his overall stock, Joel Embiid, went up 0.02% with the MVP nod. So let's see if that does well for your stock on Joel Embiid. It was when basketball launched. That was one of the guys we were like, yeah, you got to just go in on Joel Embiid. He's gonna have a fantastic career, and now he wins MVP. So that is the NBA last night. Great games again. Both games were great, down to the wire. A lot of fun. So we move it on to some love money. Okay, Jordan Love. We said yesterday, how the hell are you going to pay this guy? How are you going to scale this? How are you going to justify paying Jordan Love any amount of money based off of one start? Well, the Packers kind of answered that question yesterday, where they give Jordan Love 22.5 over 2 years with 13.5 guaranteed. So immediately, here's your paycheck, Mr. Love. You are QB1. Go get him, kid. That's what they did. And now what they do is they lock in their QB1 for this upcoming season and the following season to get that sample size to find out where he stacks with the Herberts and the Mahomes of the world and those guys that are getting paid out the wazoo. Can Jordan Love live up to that? We don't know, but we're going to find out. This is a great move by the Packers.
Yeah, so they're saving cap. They're just basically working the cap here. Savage also had a corresponding move with the Packers that restructured it, freed up $5.2 million. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't actually. If you could bring up the Jordan Love contract,
that's right here. I have it right down. 22.5 over 2. So average, and then he's guaranteed 13.5. That's it.
So it's 22.5 over 2. What's the base salary this year is what I'm getting at. And what's the cap hit this year?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. All right, I'll look that up.
So because I think that the extension, he could earn up to $22 million, but it's not exactly that. Or it could be next year it's $22 million. This year his base salary is like what his rookie deal was. I think that they just gave him the extra year at what it would have been if they gave him the fifth year.
Yeah. Overthecap.com does not have it. It's like I said, the ink is probably not even dry yet on his deal, but I will look it up on Spotrac.
I'm sure Spotrac's got it. They got to have it.
They
do not have it.
They do not have it at all either.
Shame on you guys.
But anyway, we do know, like I said, we know right off the rip that it's
they're spending the same amount of money as if they would have given the fifth year, but now they're turning a lot of that money into signing bonus, so it frees up cap space. Great deal. It gives them a lot of flexibility. It's a unique deal that you're not really going to see many of because you're not going to see a quarterback that's a first-round pick that hasn't played yet and going into his fourth year.
Right.
So there's no reason why we shouldn't be giving him the money. I say we as the Packers because we didn't really give him an opportunity to earn it, but now he gets a realistic opportunity without any of the noise that's going to come about with the extension or the fifth year and things like that. Now they have more wiggle room, and no other team could talk to Jordan Love at all.
They did what the Giants should have did, is what I think. The Giants should have did a similar deal before they just gave Daniel Jones $40 million.
I disagree because I think that there was a little bit more trepidation because of the fact that they were kind of had 2 years to see what Daniel Jones has done. And
yeah, but this was the first year under the new regime and stuff like that. So
that's why, though.
Yeah,
but that's why it's like the new regime. It would have been different if it was the same old regime and they were the guys that drafted him. But new regime, it says, well, you're not exactly our guy. You got to prove it to us. It made sense. Plus, Daniel Jones, he had like 35 fumbles in his first 32 games or something insane. I know
he
that
tricked over to 20. We all remember that.
But there was reasons why you would be hesitant in terms of balls, controlling the ball, taking care of the football is the number one thing a quarterback has to do. And he wasn't doing it. So you weren't going to give him a 2-year extension. You had to figure it out. This year it worked out for them. But again, I think that Giants may have some buyer's remorse down the line on Daniel Jones.
We'll see.
Maybe not, but
it's the same identical contract that the Dallas Cowboys gave Dak Prescott.
If you took Saquon off that team last year, the Giants are
a
very, very different offense.
Tough sledding.
And Daniel Jones is in a very different position going into the offseason, in my estimation.
They get him some weapons. They draft a weapon. Jalen Hyatt.
I do think Saquon will be back this year. But there is going to come a time in the very near future where Daniel Jones is not going to have Saquon Barkley to lean on. And if he does have him, there's going to be a very time in the near future where we're talking about Saquon the same way we were talking about Zeke. Is he going to be able to lean on him? I think that's going to hinder them in the long run. So we'll see.
I got a question. Did you see? You probably didn't see this, but there was some not hidden audio. But speaking of the Giants, they draft Jalen Hyatt, right? Did you see the audio with him and the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver coach that surfaced over the internet? So there's a video floating around Twitter, and it was first posted by Dove Kleiman. Do you know who Dove Kleiman is? Okay. Well, Dove has a massive following. Nobody knows exactly who this guy is. I think he's from across the pond. Like, he's just not even in the United States of America, and he covers a lot of football, but I feel like he recycles a lot of people's stuff. As soon as he sees something, he has like alerts set up, and then he twists it, and then he reports it himself, and people start taking this guy serious, which, again, you're out of your mind if you do. He put out there that this was the conversation between Jalen Hyatt and the Cowboys wide receiver coach. So Jalen Hyatt goes, they're doing the combine. It's like his pro day or something. And the coach goes, you know your role. Just listen to me as coach speak. Like, you know your role. You know your role. Well, what's my role, coach? Your speed. And he goes, I can run routes, though. I can run routes, though. You go, yeah? Show me. Go ahead. Right? That's coach speak. That's coach coaching you up. Dove Kleiman came out and said, now the Giant, he's going to burn the Cowboys now for 30 catches and 240 yards in a game.
He might.
No, he might. You're right, but I'm just saying, like,
that's
Jesus
not going to be
Christmas
why.
Christ.
That's not going to be why.
No, it's not going to be why.
I mean,
it's so dumb. It's just like,
I don't even know.
Media really just
Dove Kleiman.
Dove Kleiman. Nobody knows who the hell he is.
Dove Kleiman?
Could be. D-O-V.
Oh.
I call him Dove.
Yeah.
In any event, he's a weirdo. But that's that. A couple of NFL nuggets besides.
Fast forward to week 4.
What?
Jalen Hyatt, 11 catches,
Buck
190 yards. And
right. Other
2
NFL
tugs.
stuff. The Chiefs re-signed Jerick McKinnon, so that's good for his stock. What's not good is that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was denied his 5th-year option. I'm pretty sure I said that yesterday, but looks like he's on the outs. Jets declined Mekhi Becton. That's big, but so was he. So, like, that's what it was. He keeps coming in overweight and this, that, and the third. He does come in this year looking a little svelte. So all of a sudden they're like, okay, go prove it, and we'll talk at the end of the season. But the 5th-year option was declined. So that's...
Wait, shocking. A guy that got paid a significant portion early. He was a rookie and a first-round pick, right?
Yeah.
So he got paid early.
Yes.
And he got fat.
Yes.
And now it's about to be contract time, so he's skinny again. I'm not giving this guy a contract. I don't care what. Because as soon as he gets it again, he's going to get fat again. That's my estimation.
Just as much as that. All right, so I got some questions to ask you here. I don't know if you know this, but Mojo decided to launch baseball. And that's something that they've been working on for a little while.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a little game with you. I want you to name the top 5 stocks that you think, that you don't have to name their price, just who they are. The top 5 stocks based off of their IPO, which means their intro price to the market.
All right, so are we going starting pitching and
It's
hitters
It's
combined?
all there. It's all there.
All right,
So
no, I'm asking you, like, do I have to handpick?
no, just 5 overall guys. Could be a pitcher,
All right,
field
Verlander?
player. No, Verlander is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay,
He's
so-
right outside
so
the
I'm,
top
I'm
5.
close. Trout,
Trout is number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you have it as Mike Trout
Manny
as number
Machado?
1. Not here. Manny Machado is not even in the top. He's 11th.
All right, I'm just trying to get a gauge of where we're going with bank value because obviously Trout has a ton of bank value, so that's where we're going with that.
I'm looking at Trout's stock right now. Yeah, his bank value is significant. Out of his $181 share price, 138 of it is bank
Clayton
value.
Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw is 4. Okay,
All right.
you're on your money here. You got 2 out of the 5 so far.
How many hitters, how many pitchers left out of the 3?
One of them does both.
All right, so Shohei, that was going to be an easy one.
Shohei Ohtani is number 2. So the next 2 guys,
Aaron Judge.
no.
No, I didn't really believe that, but I had to say it.
There's
So,
2 more guys. So you hit Trout, Ohtani, and Kershaw as 4. Number 3 and number 5.
and pitchers or hitters?
Both hitters.
Both hitters. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
The
things
next
a little-
pitcher, just so for everybody to know, is Max Scherzer at 7. So both hitters.
I would imagine
Think
that
of
they
bank
have to
value,
be-
future market.
So I don't think it's going to be anyone significantly young,
No.
right? All right.
Young-ish. I don't want to say they're on the back end of their career, but like young-ish.
Bryce Harper?
Bryce Harper's not up here. Bryce Harper is right after Scherzer at 8, so he's in the top 10. I mean, we could play this game all day, but I just
No,
figured
I do want to play this game all day. Is it Mookie Betts?
Mookie Betts is officially number 5.
So who's better than
So who's better than Mookie Betts, but not as good as Ohtani and Trout?
AL or NL?
NL. Twice removed, NL. Was in the NL, had a great start, stayed in the NL. You're gonna nail this. I feel I got a good feeling you're gonna nail this. But then again, your hesitation is really killing me. The people at home are like, just say it. It's like,
all right. So NL.
yeah.
West.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
All right. It can't be a Dodger again.
It is a Dodger again.
Another Dodger that I'm missing.
You said Mookie. You said Clayton. There's one more big time player over there that they spent a lot of money to get. And he just so happened to bring in some lineage of winning a World Series and came on over there and said, the hell with you, Atlanta. I'm going here.
I would have never have guessed Freddie Freeman.
Never?
Even when I said Dodgers, I'm like.
So let's round out the top 10.
That was I would have named the 300 players. I probably
The
wouldn't have
top
gotten
10 here. Mike Trout 1, Ohtani 2. Freddie
I just
Freeman
don't see
3.
it, by the way.
Clayton Kershaw 4.
Even in fantasy drafts, I just Googled Freddie Freeman. I'm like, thank God. I don't gotta
Mookie Betts
deal with
5. Justin Verlander 6. Scherzer 7. Harper 8. Goldschmidt 9. And rounding out the top 10 is Juan Soto, who's about $4 more than Manny Machado, who's at 11. So the first Yankee that pops up is who?
Judge.
Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is the first Yankee to pop up. Garrett Cole has popped up. And, of course, Aaron Judge. Judge is, if 10 was Soto, 11,
Because he
12,
started
13,
late.
14. 14th best,
The disrespect.
highest price. Xander Bogaerts is right after him. This goes on and on forever. Something you might be interested in is their, where is it? I just saw it. Where'd it go? Damn it. Hold on. Discover. It's under the Discover. It's under the MLB prospects. Would you, by any chance, take a shot in the dark on who the top prospect is?
Jordan Walker.
No, I don't see him anywhere. Actually, they only have there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 prospects they have on the Mojo Market right now. The number one guy is a pitcher.
Is he in Baltimore?
He's a Philly.
I don't know.
Andrew Painter. The first position player is shortstop out of Baltimore, Jackson Holiday.
Yeah, what about Drew Jones on there?
Drew Jones is not on here. I'm sure they're going to add him, right? But, guys you might have an
Where they
idea.
got Wander Franco on there?
Francisco Alvarez for the Mets catcher. He's on the way up. Jason Dominguez is on this list as well. So that's somebody that I get to announce, by the way, on Sunday. I'll be doing the PA announcing for the
Where do they
Somerset
have
Patriots.
Wander?
Huh?
Wander Franco. Where is he at? I know he's not on the prospect list, but I'm
Franco?
curious to know where they put, the elite.
Wander Franco is officially $73.66. He is in between JT Realmuto and Adley Rutschman.
I would be in on Rutschman and
Franco's future value is ridiculous right now. So that Franco is averaging $8.49 a season, according to this. And I'm in on Rutschman, too, because I think Rutschman is going to be a fantastic player for the Baltimore Orioles. And I think, again, that's one of those guys you don't want to see do well. But, again, that's just going to happen. His future value is ridiculous.
What do you got? Where do they got Tatis? Now I'm just playing curious games. I should just open the app right now.
No, it's all good. Fernando Tatis, I think I told you, he was right after. He fell right out of the top 10. He was right after. No, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Wrong guy. He's 27th highest. He's in between Matt Olson and Austin Riley, 2 Braves. So Tatis, all his juice that he's flowing through his body, Fernando Tatis is over there.
Would you say Tatis cannot make the Hall of Fame no matter what?
That sucks because he's so young and so explosive and so much fun in baseball.
I mean, I think
legalize steroids. I'll say it.
I think by the time Tatis is done with baseball, I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer because he has a long way to go to get to that point. But by that time, I think that people won't care.
I hope so.
In 25
because
years,
it gets. I mean,
if you have
is Bonds done? Eligibility done? Yeah, right.
They could all get in at a certain point, but it has to be on the veterans thing. They're done in terms
A-Rod, come on, one of the best players to ever play the game, and he admitted it.
They're doing an A-Rod. Is that happening?
Nah, he's looking for somebody to do documentaries. So A-Rod, Alex, boss, listen. If you want somebody to do your documentary, hit up Chop Studios. We'll try our best to put together what you've envisioned, what your career was all about. And for me, he's a catalyst in the 2009 World Series run, a catalyst. So, in any event, that's a show. What you can do right now is follow us on the old social media. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Mojo, MOJO is the way to do it. Join the Discord. Obviously, there's a lot to go on. You got Philadelphia and Boston tonight, as this guy was about to take a swig of water, but I said, no. We're coming right back on the screen. So, as if like I've ever shied away from just chugging the water on screen.
You should hear it.
I'm a loud drinker, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, that's a show. Back here tomorrow to put a bow on the Sixers and the Boston Celtics tonight. More NFL stuff going on. Obviously, I believe the schedule release will be happening in about a week from now. So that'll be something to, start highlighting marquee games.
Planning my vacation. I'm going this year.
Where? Oh, so am I. I'm going to Dallas. I've already made a distinct decision to get out back to go hang out with all my boys and girls in Dallas for the Dallas Cowboys football game. Anyway. Let's get out of here. Dave Sturchio, Chris Gucci. This has been another episode of the Mojo Market Report. Chris is gone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.